morning. Good Wednesday morning. How is everybody today? I'm in the process of making breakfast, and I figured I'd bring you along, have breakfast with you. So I'm putting my toast in, or bread in right now. It will be toasted in a minute. I'm gonna get ready to drop that. And my eggs. I have 2 eggs. Yesterday we did a video while I was getting fuel about fire extinguishers and triangles. And it's something that it came to my head, came to my brain yesterday, that this is a problem. Because in our trucks, our bunk curtain sits almost right on top of our fire extinguisher. So anytime you open and close the bunk curtain, sometimes you hit the bracket and it comes undone. It's loose. And so if you're not mindful of that, and you're just going down the road and your fire extinguisher is good and it's just laying there but it's not secure in the bracket, that's a violation. It doesn't matter what truck you have, where your fire extinguisher is, it can't be loose, it can't be rolling around. It has to be mounted in a bracket somewhere in your truck that's accessible from the door. So that's DOT rules. So remember that. I tell you these things because these little bitty things, they're all violations and citations to you. And who wants to pay for something that it's just simple, just bloop, flip the bracket and lock it in place. The other thing is triangles. Make sure, just because you have the red box doesn't mean all 3 triangles are in the box. So make sure they are. Make sure they're working, they actually clip together and they make the triangle, they lock together. And the mounting screw is there with the clip and they're not falling apart. You get pulled over, they do an inspection, you pull the triangles out. If they won't stand up on their own and they're all in pieces, it's a violation to you. So take 2 minutes, double check them triangles and make sure they're good, because that could cost you some money. And your fire extinguisher, you're gonna check it every day to make sure it's fully charged. Make sure it's secure in the bracket. So you don't want a violation because of that. It's just trying to save you some money and some headache. So just wanted to touch base on that. Let's see. So yesterday we started in Walterboro, South Carolina. Gonna make some breakfast. Got to get going. Walterboro, South Carolina, and we delivered in Mount Crawford. And my asset manager was able to get me the return load that I originally had before my load got messed up on Monday. He got me that return load, and wasn't ready here. So now I'm on my way back to Jacksonville, and I made it to Hillsville, Virginia. I'm only 14 miles from North Carolina. So I'm roughly 490 miles from Jacksonville. So I will deliver today. Even though the load doesn't deliver till tomorrow, I'm going to deliver it today. So, and I don't know what I'm doing after this. But we drove 660 miles yesterday. So we had a good day, making up for some lost time. And drop my toast there. I did talk to a driver about, he responded to the video I made for questions and answers for Q&A for stress and stress level and what types of stress. And I had listed a handful of different stress things that go on with everyday people. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Everybody carries stress. But this driver, not only does he have almost all the stress that I talked about, ironically, he also has another stress I didn't even think about. I am his mentor. And so I will not put his name on this video, but we'll just call him Bubba, all right? My buddy Bubba. And we're building this relationship, and I'm helping him along, but there's a stress that he has that I didn't even think about. The stress of starting a new job. So he's been here for just a few weeks on with Schaefer Trucking, and he is really trying hard to do everything correct. He's learning the tablet, learning the policies, what's right, what's wrong. And and that's a stress all by itself, because he wants to show his asset manager and the company that they did a good job by hiring him, and he wants to do a good job. So so he's learning all the things, and I'm helping him along, and there's another driver helping him too, and that's good. But this guy, he's got a past. He hasn't been driving truck, for a long time, a few years, good few years. But his past is he's had a few accidents. He's had a few bumps in the road. He's had multiple jobs, and so for him to be hired over here at Creek Carrier, you have to have a decent record, or they won't hire you. And so now he carries this stress of, am I good enough? Am I doing it right? And when I talk to him, I have to get him to relax, because he's like up here in stress level, and I got to get him to calm down, to breathe, to understand that it's okay. We'll figure this out, one step at a time. I know his asset manager. His asset manager knows I'm his mentor, so we're working together. But that's a stress all by itself, on top of, I want to make sure I'm getting enough miles. I want to make sure I'm making enough money. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. And I never even thought about that. So because I put that video up, because I asked some of those questions, that question was raised to me, and now we're talking about this. And there's another driver I talk with from time to time, and we're talking about different stresses as well. And ironically, there's a lot of stress of getting the job done, making enough money, being able to do things right, and helping people. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to help people. So I'm glad I put that video up, and I'm glad that I was asked this question last week from a very good friend of mine. And because stress, I have my own stresses. Everyone has stress, right? And to be stressed out like that, to where you lose focus of your job, of what you're supposed to be doing, driving this truck or driving a car or some heavy piece of machinery, the last thing you want to do is be so focused on your stress that you're not paying attention to what's in front of you. You're not paying attention to what you're actually driving, 80,000 pounds down the highway at 60 or 70 mile an hour. Having the stress of, the pressure of trying to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that's why my sister, my older sister, sorry, I'm trying to get cooking here, had mentioned about having your mindset, right? And she told me this a few years ago. And so in September, I got this new mindset. Never even knew existed. And a lot of things have changed. And you've seen me where I've had a lot of things happen, breakdowns, tires, loads change, delivery times change. Am I gonna T-call a load? Am I repowering a load? I've repowered a load. I've waited for someone to repower my load. They never showed up. At the end of the day, what can you do? You have to be positive on who you are and what you're capable of doing and not capable of doing. And it's important. So I'm glad my buddy Bubba asked me these questions. And I referenced a few videos that I've made for him to go back to and look at. And then we're going to talk again today. So, that's what this channel is about, is helping each other. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I know everything, because I don't. I'm human. I'm just like you too. From time to time, I need help. Sometimes I think I need help all the time, but seriously, we all need help. And so I'm glad I raised that question, and I'm getting a few comments back to it, and I got a few phone calls about it. And so the question is, like I asked the other day, if you have that much stress, are you willing to do something about it? Do you want to do something about it? Or are you just going to keep it inside? And so, right off the bat, I'm talking to 3 different people from that one video. And there was a few comments about it, but I'm talking to them on the phone. And it's on a personal level. And so all we can do for each other is help each other. And if somebody doesn't stand up on the stage, like right here, and say, hey, I know there's a problem. Can we help? Can we help you? And, we all know people. We don't all know the right answer, right? You think about people that have made it big in their life and made a mark on the world. They didn't do it by themselves. They did it with people. People together made things happen. That's what we're trying to do here. So I just wanted to talk about that and wanted to have a little breakfast with you. People have asked about, what I use. And I actually had to look it up the other day, and I commented about it. Someone asked me, what type of electric skillet do I have? Well, this is a 6-inch, 800 watt Nesco. Okay. And it's close to 5 years old. And a friend of mine, April, gave this to me a long time ago. Well, almost 5 years ago. And there was a day that she was in a company that ran a lot of the same routes that I did. So from time to time, we would run across the country together. And, those are some good times. And now she's with a company that runs different routes than I do. And so I don't get to see her that much, but I know she's out there, and I know she's watching. So this is a gift from her to me that I use all the time. So, but anyhow, I'm gonna finish up the breakfast. I've already got my toast going and buttered and doing my eggs. And so I will see you later. I'll let you know what's going on. Everybody have a great day. Try to be safe. Be thankful for what you have. And if you have stress, reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody. Talk to somebody who cares. Talk to somebody, not somebody that's going to give you a line, not someone that's going to give you a story. Somebody that actually wants to help. Okay? And if you don't know somebody that wants to help, let me know. I might know somebody that might be able to help you. So, anyhow, everybody have a wonderful day. Be safe. Be blessed. We'll talk to you soon. All right. See you later. Bye.